Chapter 35. It didn't take Maggie long to empty her desk on the last day of school. All she had to do was gather the loose papers together, tap them into an even rectangle, roll them into a slender tube, and drop them in the wastebasket. That left only a scattering of paper reinforcements, dry and curled, some snips of lace left over from Miss Christabel's shawl, and a few paper clips, all pulled out of shape. She swept them all up with the edge of her hand and dropped them, too, into a wastebasket. "What's your summer address?" Barbara had already emptied her desk and scrubbed its surface, and she was standing next to Maggie with a pen and a small notebook balanced on her pile of loose leaf papers. "My summer address?" "Yeah, here, write it down in this book. I'll write to you from camp." "I don't have a summer address." "You mean you're staying home all summer?" "I'm moving. I'm going to live with somebody else." "With somebody else? Who? Is that those people you visit with the roses and everything?" "No, some other people. A family. They have these 2 girls. Far away someplace." "Far away? You mean you're not coming back to school next year?" "No." "When are you going?" "Tomorrow." "Tomorrow?" Barbara looked at her a long time. You never got to see my costume dolls," she said. "No," Maggie answered. "That's okay. I don't play with dolls anyway." "I came to say goodbye," Maggie said. Timothy John and Miss Christabel continued to stare blankly across the table at one another, and Juniper sat in his basket on the floor. "I'm leaving tomorrow," she continued. "I'm going to live somewhere else with these other people, far away." She swiveled Miss Christabel's face toward her own and spoke for her. "Going away?" she said in a high voice. "But you can't go away. We need you here." "Yes," Maggie answered. "Well, maybe I'll come back and visit sometime. I don't know." "But we need you here all the time," she said for Miss Christabel. "We need you to take care of us. Isn't that right, Timothy John?" Maggie nodded Timothy John's head for him. "Yes," she made him say. "You are our special friend, Maggie. We think you are the most wonderful person ever. We like you a whole lot, and we don't want you to leave us. We need you here. We love you, Maggie." "I love you too," Maggie answered. "I love you both, and Juniper too." She picked up both lifeless dolls, along with the china dog, and put them all on her lap. She rocked them all back and forth, the way she had seen mothers rock babies. "I'm never going to forget you." She rested her chin on their reddish wigs and closed her eyes. "Ever," she whispered. Then she was silent for all of them as she held them close and watched as the sunlight moved across the table, touching the kettle with a sudden flash and settling finally on the faces of the dolls in her lap. "Here," she said after a while. "Look, this is what I'll do. I'll fix you so that you can all look at each other and have tea together after I've gone away. It will be just like always." She smoothed Miss Christabel's dress and arranged her carefully at her place in front of the teacup and saucer. "Here's your bread and butter, right where you can reach it," she added, "and I'll put the tea cozy on the teapot to keep it warm. For always." "For always," she answered for Miss Christabel. "How nice. And now you too, Timothy John." She seated him on the chair opposite and straightened his legs out. "You'll have to do the pouring from now on, now that I won't be here anymore." And she rested his hand on the teapot. "Of course," she made him answer. "I love to pour." "And Juniper can sit where you can both see him. She set the little basket on the table between the two dolls. I forgot to look for your ear, Juniper. It probably got swept into the coal scuttle with the cake crumbs. Do you mind a whole lot, having only one ear? It's okay, really. You look nice anyway. And here's a saucer for you to sip from when you get hungry. She rumbled an answer for him. Oh, and here's your newspaper, Timothy John, in case you want to read about the fire and the washtub. Then she knelt at the table and looked from one to the other. Maggie! Someone was calling from downstairs. I have to go now, Maggie whispered, and she slowly rose. Goodbye, Miss Christabel, and she put her hand on the doll's small head. Goodbye, Maggie, she answered for the doll. And you, Timothy John, goodbye. She brushed his cheek with her knuckles and lowered her voice for his reply. Goodbye, Maggie. We will think of you while you are gone. Maybe I'll come back someday, she said, for a visit, and see you all. Goodbye, Juniper, and she ran her finger along the hump of his back. Goodbye, she said again when she reached the top of the steps, but this time she didn't answer for them, and she went downstairs with only the echo of her voice in her ear. Goodbye.